boy that you had informed me about.
Okay, so I'm gonna play my dad.
Right.
What I would have wanted my dad to have said.
What would
or
you
what
have
he did
wanted?
say.
You know, how do you think that you would want to move with that? Would you want to hear what your dad would have said, or do you want to relive the emotions or the experience of what he said during that time?
I think that what I would have liked for my dad to have said.
Okay.
Because I think I've played that over in my mind for
Okay.
several decades.
Okay. All right.
Not too many,
Okay.
just a couple
Just a
decades.
couple.
But yeah, I think I'd like to maybe relive, or maybe say what I wish my dad had said.
Okay.
What I would like for my dad to say now.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
And I want you to try to put a lot of emotion. Like I said, I know this is our first time doing this, and we're going to experience some reacting things.
Okay.
Just put that emotion and try to really target that time, or go back to that
Okay.
time. So
Okay.
whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay. My parents call me Jenny.
Okay.
Okay. So Jenny. You know, what was just happening between you and the boy, you know, those feelings that you were talking about are really normal, and you know, all young boys and girls get those feelings, and that's okay to have those feelings. But the reason, you know, I walked in is because I'm concerned about you. You know, I'm your dad, and my job is to protect you and love you, and so I want you to be safe, and that's why I came in the room, and that's why I asked the boy to leave, because, you know, I just want to make sure that you're safe, and maybe also to talk about what your feelings are before you start acting on them, because you know, we should definitely talk about how to be safe. And again, those feelings are really normal to have. All kids have those feelings. All grown-ups have those feelings.
Mm-hmm. You're doing good. You're
Okay.
doing good.
But my job is to protect you, and that's why I came in the room, and that's why I had that reaction. So what's important for me to tell you, for you to know, is that, you know, what you did was, you know, how you're feeling and what you're doing is completely normal.
Okay.
And that I love you no matter what, and I don't think badly about you at all, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about, because it's totally normal. When I was your age, I had those same feelings, and I want to make sure that you feel comfortable talking to me about those feelings.
Very good. You're doing good.
So,
You're doing good.
how's that?
That's very good. That's
Okay.
very good. Okay. I'm going to have you come back and have a seat here.
Okay.
And we're just going to discuss how that made you feel.
Okay.
So, how did that go for you? How did you feel about that?
Well, I think I had a surprisingly difficult time playing the role of my dad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think maybe just because it's so hard for me to imagine him saying those things, and at the same time, it makes me feel very emotional.
Okay.
I think maybe the feeling I was having was almost like grief and loss, like that he didn't say any of those things to me. But you know, those feelings are really difficult for me to have.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with those kinds of feelings,
Right.
so I tend to...
With the grief and loss?
Definitely with grief and loss, with sadness,
Mm.
you know, I struggle with those feelings,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
They're really uncomfortable for me.
Okay.
So I tend to, like, try to wall off that part of me.
Right.
So that
Okay.
was very difficult, because I was feeling those feelings
Again.
creeping over the wall.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
if that makes sense.
So, did you notice anything with your body, or did you have any tightness in your chest, or was it any? I saw that you were somewhat a little pale
Yeah.
So did you?
Well, I'm a little pale anyway.
A little flushed.
A little flushed.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that I feel still very embarrassed talking about
Okay, and that's
sex
okay.
or anything related. I mean, obviously that was a situation that
Right.
was just about
Right.
kissing, and
Right.
but it's like still so almost ingrained in me that I feel like it's wrong, that it's embarrassed just to even like talk about here.
Okay.
Even though I'm 31 and I know that sex and those feelings are completely normal, it's still, so I was feeling embarrassed.
Okay.
And then definitely feeling tense,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
in my shoulders and my back and my neck.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and was feeling tense and still feeling
Okay.
a little tense.
All right. All right. Well, I think you did. Well, I know you did a wonderful job with, going back and reenacting that experience. It takes a lot of courage for individuals to revisit some things that were very traumatic to them or that brought some concern to them. So I just want to commend you on that. And like I said, we're going to be working more with maybe going back and revisiting that time again, because I believe, and I think you believe the same, that maybe that did have an impact.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Right.
I mean, I think I really liked the reverse. I really liked being my 10-year-old self. Like that was,
Okay.
I don't know how to describe that. That felt more of a relief,
Right.
a sense of relief. Like
Right.
I've been wanting to say those things for a long time.
That's good. That's good. And you will be going back
Okay.
to doing those types of techniques and activities.
Great, that'd be awesome.
And so now that we're coming to the end of the
Okay,
session,
it's gone by quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Mhm.
It did. Like I said, I thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Again. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Something else that I like to do with my clients is that I like to assign a homework
Okay.
task. And it's nothing really simple. And as we go on, the homework tasks may become a little bit more just to kind of like challenge you
Okay.
with certain things. And I would just like to see if possible, if it's okay with you, that maybe, and I think you had expressed that no type of intimate contact was going on with your husband or
Right.
yourself. And,
Zero.
Yeah, zero.
For 2 years.
Zero, yeah. So I would just like that you kind of like, if you all go out, if it's just to the store or if it's just out to lunch, if it's just to maybe hold his hand, grab his hand,
Okay.
and just, those can be little cues for him to let him know that, I'm still here for you. I am still attracted to you, as you stated. You still have my support. And I would just like to see if you would be willing, maybe just to hold his hand, or maybe a shoulder rub, or just something to kind of like initiate just a little intimate type of spark. So it doesn't have to be so much of
Yeah.
leading to a sexual encounter,
Okay.
but just something to show affection.
So let me ask you this question. Do you, is it okay, I mean, he knows I was gonna come here today. He's
Right.
fully supportive of me
Right.
being in therapy, obviously.
Right.
But is it okay if I tell him that it's a homework assignment? Because otherwise I'm afraid he's gonna think that, like, he'll find it very suspect if all of a
Then
sudden
all of a sudden you do
I'm
that.
trying to hold his hand. And again, we just have lost,
Right.
we just
Right.
have lost so much trust that if I feel like if I all of a sudden try to start rubbing his shoulders,
Right.
he is going to think something is
Is-
wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so, is it okay if
Okay,
I tell
well-
him, like, one of the things I'm supposed to do is,
Mhm.
I have homework and.
Yeah, so let's bring that back. And I'm glad you brought that to my attention, because like I said initially, or I think that you have the resources and the understanding on how to deal with that. Let's go back to just maybe writing it down.
Okay.
Okay, writing down a scenario, and it doesn't have to be really long, but just writing down a scenario of how you would maybe, or times that you may hold his hand, or maybe
Okay.
a time that you may touch his shoulder,
Okay.
or maybe put your arm around him. Listen.
Okay.